Hey guys, welcome to High Entropy. And hello. I hope you can hear me. So I just went to turn off the fan or maybe just slow down the speed of fan. By the way, welcome to High Entropy. It's day 18 of AI learning and I'm ready to begin Langgraph's next chapter, or you can say what we say, not chapter. Let me draw the picture of me, okay? You can see. Jokes apart. By the way, so what we are doing here, sorry. Okay, so what we are doing? Let me say Accelerator. I will open. So what's next plan? So far we have covered LangChain, I mean not I covered, tutors covered. So next, I decided first I'll learn Langgraph, and then there are few courses on Udemy. I will tell you. So I purchased them today, and next goal is I have to build some projects on RAG. I will build some RAG pipelines. I will use some databases, and I wanted to get hands on. So I created. My learning. I will show you. I haven't started it. See, this is Da Vinci. I said Da Vinci. Ultimate RAG, complete agentic AI. So these are the things that I'm gonna start soon. But before that, today, today's plan. Oh, today's plan. So far what we covered. Yeah. So we are going to start Lang graph. And what is the use of Langgraph? Yesterday I watched a video, so I will try to summarize it. What is the like when you wanted to build something where okay, let me say this is LangChain. Hey, why can't I click anywhere? What is LangChain? I will say a framework to build when to build agentic AI applications. What exactly we are doing? So here we are doing something that is not parallel, sequential operations. Maybe you are doing something like text summarization, so where you are asking like, okay, you are chunking the data or parsing, you can say, then feeding to LLM. So basically here you are following the feeding to LLM, then getting output and parsing. Okay, so these are the cool stuffs that we are doing with LangChain. Okay, I hope there isn't any option to. It's a base tool, I guess. What is Langgraph? Here we are going to build agents and talk and build a communication system between the agents, you can say. Communication between agents, and it could be DAG, a cyclic graph. Here you are building something that is there that won't gonna talk to backward direction, but here it could be talk like with each other. And so complex workflows, you are gonna build complex tasks. Now I have still little knowledge, so I'm just trying to summarize it. By the way, let's jump to the Langgraph, and I will 11:41. So clock, let me set it for 1 hour 30 minutes, and yeah, here we go. Let's begin. I just wanted to minimize unnecessary stuff, so What I should do? Oh, you are not subscribing, guys. No, not. I'm just saying what he is doing.
Oh, bro, this is crazy. Listen, man.
1 million likes target. Keep it at a pro. By the way, where is that? What I wanted to do? Okay, okay. Hmm? What is this glitch? Why it is showing me this? By the way, forget about it. Lang, graph. Let's begin from
This
Insta.
is a complete 6 hours long agentic AI with Langgraph masterclass, which will make you a pro Langgraph developer because this will cover the difference between AI agents versus agentic AI, agentic nodes and edges, state schema for stateful orchestration, identic orchestration graphs, conditional nodes in Langgraph, tool binding with LLMs, React agent architecture, prompt chaining, worker orchestrator framework, generator evaluator architecture, adding human in the loop feature in Langgraph,
Human in the
managing
loop.
memory in Langgraph, and much more. The best part is this course is made for total beginners. That means you do not need any kind of prior experience and knowledge. Some basic Python knowledge will be very good. Plus, I have used amazing doodle graphics throughout this video for the explanation so that you can easily grasp each and every concept in detail with ease. Plus, I have provided all the notes, code files, resources, everything with this particular video. In short, this is one-stop solution for you to master
Langgraph. What did you say?
Langgraph this year. Just a small request. I have literally put so much of efforts to create this dedicated course on Langgraph and providing it for free. You will hardly take 1 second to hit the subscribe button. So just do it right now. And let's get started with this amazing Langgraph masterclass. So what's up, my fam? Happy Sunday! Finally. By the way, thank you so much for giving me such a great response on my Langchain video. And you said, Ansh Lamba, just create Langgraph video. So there is a complete zero to hero course for you for Langgraph. First of all, quickly, let me just tell you that if you have some basic Python understanding, if you know how to write Python functions, if you know how to run loops, if you know how to use if and else conditions in Python, you can continue with this video. I know you that is your only question. And second question, if you do not even know LangChain before, and if you're directly learning LangGraph, then this video is for you because I have covered everything from scratch and I have covered everything from, you can say, all the areas required for this particular video. So we want to
greasy
now,
and I was
if you already know LangChain, then it will be like cherry on the cake. If you already know the fundamentals, you can easily work with LangGraph. Because this video is purely focused on LangGraph, and if you do not know about LangGraph, LangGraph is built on top of LangChain. Okay, and this gives you more control. And to be honest, in the industry, in the companies, we use LangGraph most of the time. We integrate LangChain with Langgraph, but when we want to build the solutions, we use Langgraph. And obviously, that is why you are seeing Langgraph everywhere in the job description as well. So I thought I need to help my lovely family members. And if you are part of the lovely family members, then welcome to my video. If you are not a part of my lovely family members, then what are you waiting for? Simply hit the subscribe button right now, okay? And then just be a part of my lovely family members. Because you know what? We have amazing fun and we grow together. Very good. So now, the questions are here, the prerequisites are here, and your agenda is the next thing. Agenda is very simple. So I will expect that you have zero understanding about LangChain, Langgraph, whatever. Agentic AIs, nothing, zero understanding. But you are a beginner who knows Python. Okay, who knows Python, who knows how to write the functions in Python, how to run loops in Python, how to import packages in Python, right? Are you that person? Very good. Then you can just watch this video, and the agenda of this video is very clear. You will complete this video, which is an amazing course, like 6+ hours long course. You can imagine. And I know, like everyone is like creating a hype around agentic AI, but you need someone who can actually guide you and teach you agentic AI, right? We need to learn as well, along with like talking about agentic AI, because both are important. So now this video will help you learn about agentic AI and how you can just build agentic AI pipelines in the industry. And after completing this video, you will be yes a Langgraph developer from scratch. Okay, so that is the good thing. So that is the agenda. All the videos are here, all the questions are here. Now I don't want to waste your time, and I know you want to watch this video. You really want to be a Langgraph developer. So let's get started with the video. And before that, let me just actually congratulate my family members. So congratulations to all really amazing. Congrats you. That's beautiful. In the why do you need to learn Langgraph? Because if you do not know why, then I don't know how you will learn it. Simple. So let's talk about first of all why Langgraph. Okay, and then obviously what is Langgraph will be automatically covered. Makes sense? And as I said earlier, if you already know LangChain, it will be a little bit easy for you to understand. And even if you don't know LangChain, don't worry, I will just make it easy for you. So just enjoy. So basically, Langgraph. Langgraph is the most popular framework right now in the era of agentic AI. What did I say? Agentic AI. Okay. So I can say LangChain is the kind of go-to framework for agentic AI. Agentic AI apps, whatever you want to say. Because it is open source, it is free, you don't need to pay to anyone, and it is amazing. Like I personally love it. I'm a big fan of agentic AI, like Langgraph. So now let's talk about it. So basically, what will happen if I want to create agentic AI solution? I need to build first of all AI agent. Then I need to build the agentic AI solution. Now you can be correct. You'll be like, hey, what is the difference between AI agent and agentic AI? That's a very good question because that should be your first question. So now let's try to talk about AI agent versus let's say agentic AI. Simple. You know what? The difference is very, very simple and very straightforward. So let's talk about AI agent first of all, and then we can just go to our, you can say, agentic AI. Simple. So if I want to talk about AI agent first of all, so AI agent is like when you want to build a solution which can perform some tasks on its own. Simple. For example, let's say you want to create a chatbot. If you have used ChatGPT, let me just open any ChatGPT instance. That's a kind of AI agent. Kind of, because now it can perform so many tasks. Earlier it was not, but now it can perform. It can perform some tool calls and it can perform some searching as well, whatever you want to perform. So here, if I say what is the temperature in let's say Bangalore right now. So now what it will do? It will simply do something magical behind the scenes, nothing magical. It will simply say searching the see. So now it is saying right on Bangalore or Bengaluru, India, the current temperature is 29 degrees. Wow. Feels like 29. Wow. Under clear skies. So how did it know this thing? How? Obviously it is not storing all of the data continuously. So it made something called as API call. Makes sense? So agent will look like this. Let's say you are building an AI agent. So let me just remove this. Let's first of all talk about the agent. So what it will do? So let's say we have the agent and let's say agent is look like it's like this person. Makes sense? Okay. Let's say this is the AI agent. Okay. Now you came to this person. This is you. You came to this person and you said, hey, I want to know the temperature in Bangalore. Simple. Simple. Your query. Now this will process information and this has something called as some tools. What kind of tools? Let's say it has some tools. Like lots of tools, let's say. It can be accessing the internet, obviously it can access the internet, like making the API calls or weather information or anything. So what it will do? It will make those API calls because this is connected to these tools. Let's say these are the tools. Simple. These are tools and it will make some API calls and it will get back the data and you will get the response back. Simple. But this is a very basic example of AI agent. Another one, AI agent is not just like making the API calls. It is also about the building a sequence or basically building a chain, building a workflow. So now let's talk about a little bit complex example. Okay. When you want to create an AI agent to do your multiple tasks. So for example, you have task number one like this. Okay. You have task number two like this, which will perform task after this one. Then you have some kind of, you can say parallel tasks like this, like this, like this. So you can perform all of these tasks. Simple. Because AI is just a like high word, another word is just like workflow. Simple. Okay. Simpler. The way you will look at AI stuff or AI engineering, better you can understand it. If you keep on learning the technology by using what AI agent, agentic AI, you'll be like, bro, what is this? If you know like this is a workflow, it's fine. Because you can build these kinds of workflows using pure Python as well. But why do we use these frameworks? Because they have like strong integration with those APIs and those service providers. That's the only reason you use these frameworks. You can build these frameworks with Python as well, not a big deal. So these are some tasks, and let's say once all of these tasks are completed, you need to do this task. Fine. So this is a kind of AI agent that you have built, a kind of workflow. Simple. This is an AI agent that you build. In LangChain or Langgraph kind of frameworks, we call it as a chain. Because what is a chain? Chain is nothing but your AI agent. Which can perform some API calls, it can perform some tasks, it can be any agent, or it's not only about the agent. It can be agent, it cannot be an agent. Because agent also has so many kinds of frameworks. You have a React agent, don't really be talking about all these things. Currently, we're simply talking about from a very high level overview. Okay. So this is the kind of chain that you create, and this can be considered or you can bucket under this category called AI agent. Simple? Okay, very good. Because it's your own definition. In your case, a simple chain can be an AI agent. In my case, let's say I'm building multiple loops in parallel and so many other things. For me, it's my AI agent. So you define your own definition of AI agent. Because AI means you are using some kind of technology under the hood, which is LLM. Make sense? You are using LLM, large language model. And you are utilizing large language model and you are building a chain on top of it so that it can perform those tasks. Because LLMs are smart. Because LLMs are smart. LLMs know like how to generate the text and how to make those API calls and whatever. Because with the course of time, we have like amazing open source LLMs as well and closed source LLMs as well. Simple, makes sense? So now everything was fine. We were able to work with chains and simple workflows. But now, with the course of time, with the more advancements in the you can say AI solutions, we found so many problems with only this kind of framework. We cannot scale it up. If we will scale it up, it will actually create a mess because you cannot scale it to let's say hundreds of nodes or thousands of nodes. And in the real world, yes, we need to have those kinds of solutions. Let's say we're building the AI solution for the entire enterprise, or let's say for the entire domain, for the entire data domain, for the entire project. Let's say you are building an AI solution for your project. You want one agent for data analytics. You want one agent for business analytics. You want one agent for let's say data engineering. You want one agent for XYZ tasks. So when you will be building such a kind of agent which will perform everything, it will become a mess. That's where a new concept came into picture, which is called agentic AI. Okay, agentic AI. Okay, so agentic AI means now you created this chain, right? Wow, very good development. Let me take this chain. Okay, Let me put it here. Let me say, okay, this is my one of the chains that I'm using. Perfect. Let me just cover it with this one. Simple. This is my one chain. Now, I want to use this chain, okay, and then I want to make another chain which will be linked to this one. Wow, can we do it? Yes. That's what we call as agentic AI. So then this will take place. Make sense? Then this will take place. Let's say these are these chains. Then after running this thing, I want to run this chain. Okay. Simple. Let's say I want to run this chain. Then after running everything, I want to, let's say, run one more chain. Let's say this. Let's keep it like this. Okay. Let's say these three chains. One for business analytics, second for data analytics, and then third for data engineering, or so on. Simple. Now I want to like work like this. Simple. I want to work like this. Now why am I just calling it as agentic AI? Because now I am building a bigger solution. I am building multiple agents, or I can say I can orchestrating multiple agents, and not just orchestrating. This is called stateful orchestration because I want this state. State means basically what exactly you are traveling between the chain. So I want this data to travel here and then this data to be traveled here. Wow. This is the concept of agentic AI. This kind of framework is very difficult with this framework alone, which is AI agent, and this is called LangChain. But when we can just build this kind of stuff, it becomes agentic AI, and we can do it with Langgraph. Because in Langgraph, you have total control over everything. Total control. You are the owner of your solution. So who is the owner of the solution in LangChain? You are still the owner, but you do not have the full control. Okay, I will just talk about it. Don't worry. Talk. I will talk about it. So now this is it. This is a very quick brief about AI agent and agentic AI, and this concept.
Hello.
Then only you can just proceed. Okay, very good. So now let's talk about what is Langgraph. Now you can easily understand it because you have already understood the intent behind building Langgraph. Okay, what is Langgraph? Tell you what, this is self-explanatory. Graph is the main word in Langgraph. And just a quick info, LangChain was the first framework by the team who developed LangChain Langgraph, and the Langgraph was the second framework. Langgraph was the first one because when they built LangChain, they built it. It was a great hit. Okay, but companies started complaining, or the developers started complaining that hey, we do not have full control over the applications, frameworks, solutions that we're building. Can you please allow us full control? So they came up with a new framework, new library called Langgraph. So they said, hey, if you want to use our own, you can say built-in features to build a solution, use LangChain. If you want full control, build Langgraph. But eventually, people started using both LangChain and Langgraph both. LangChain for like very basic chains, so that you don't need to write every code from scratch. And then after building those very small chains, you start using building your solution with Langgraph. I know for now it is like too much, but don't worry at all. That's how you grow and learn. You need to gather all of this information, and you will actually learn when you just build it. And you'll build amazing solutions only with this video. So what is Langgraph? Langgraph is built on top of LangChain. Simple. LangChain and is fully interoperable. That means you can you do not need to switch the code between LangChain and Langgraph. You do not need to do something else. No. LangChain and Langgraph both go hand in hand. Both are best friends. Okay, or I would say brothers. Okay, or sisters because
Siblings.
see,
Siblings.
so both are like actually integrated. Okay, it's not like if you know LangChain, oh, should I just learn Langgraph? Okay, I'm learning Langgraph, should I learn LangChain? Bro, both are not separated. Both are not separated. Langgraph is just a kind of upgrade of LangChain, or you can say kind of adding more features on top of LangChain. Makes sense? So instead of adding more features within LangChain, they just create a new library. And when we are building a Langgraph applications solutions using VS Code and all, you will see that most of the libraries that we are importing, either it's let's say building the LM collection, writing prompts, building chains, we will be using LangChain even for RAGs. Langgraph is just for the orchestration and building nodes. Wow, Shlama, you have used two very heavy words, orchestration and nodes, and you don't even know anything. Don't worry. That's why I use it. And it's fully interoperable with LangChain. Okay. So I use two words. Okay. Orchestration, nodes. Let's talk about it. Basically, you can say pillars. This is by my explanation, my understanding. Okay. So the pillars of Langgraph are always the two major pillars. The two major pillars of Langgraph are the first one is nodes and edges, and the second is orchestration, or I would say stateful orchestration. These are the two major pillars that I personally feel because I have worked with Langgraph. So this is like my observation. These are the two major pillars. Simple. Two major, let's say, pillars. Simple. Nodes and edges and stateful orchestration. That means you can build your solution and you can create independent nodes. Nodes, let me show you. When you see these things, these are nodes. You can say node number one. Simple. Then node number two. Then let's say node number two, node number three. Okay. Okay, these are the nodes. Node 1, node 2, node 3. This is edge. Edge or you can say branch. Same thing. Okay. Edge 1, edge 2. So this decides the flow. What is the dependency? Node defines the execution. What do you need to execute? Makes sense? And you travel the data. Whatever the you can say result of this particular node will travel to the node 2. The result of node 2 will travel to the node 3. Makes sense? Makes sense? Okay, good. So that's how you just travel your data. How you can just travel your data? We will talk about it. Don't worry about it. So this is all about the Langgraph and stateful orchestration because data travels from one node to another node. Simple. Very well. This is the backbone of it. Nodes and edges. And why? Why is this like such a big deal? Because when you create nodes and when you create your own edges, you have full control. You can define the condition like how it should just flow to the next node, how it should just go to the next node. In LangChain, it's not very easy. Plus, it does not manage all of the things that you will be managing in agentic AI. Makes sense? Does it make sense? Very good. So now you know the problems, now you know the solutions, now you know why Langgraph, and now you obviously know what is Langgraph. It is a framework to build agent AI solutions. Simple with control. With control. Very good. Now, I have also explained a very important concept called LangChain and Langgraph are not separated. They are very integrated. It's a kind of adding more features on top of LangChain. Simple. So let me try it. It's like adding more features on top of LangChain. Simple. Good. Very good. Now, let's talk about a very important, one of the most important concept. One of the most important. It is called React agents. Wow, this is very important. Now let's talk about the React agents. If you already know about this concept called React agent, very good. If you do not know about React agents, then very good, because you are on the right video, now you will know it. And I am so sure that you would have heard about this term React agent. I'm so sure about it. Even if you haven't worked with it or developed any solution for it, you will have heard about this term React. React is actually made of two words: reasoning plus acting. Okay, reasoning plus acting. It is actually made of two words. That is why I have written like this: re and then act, re and then act. And actually, what will happen? Let me just draw the entire infrastructure, not just architecture, okay, of the React. So let's say you have this agent. Okay, do I have the better? Yeah, let's use this one. So let's say this is the agent. Simple. An agent is nothing but you can say it's a kind of a node. A kind of node, one of these nodes. Okay, just node for now. You don't need to go much more technical for now. So let's say this is the agent. Now you are this developer. Okay, let's say this one. You are the developer. Okay, and you have asked one question from this particular agent. Simple. This is your input query. Okay, simple. So you have said, let's say, input query, whatever. Simple. This is the very first step. Now, what this React agent will do? So now this is an agent. One of the most, you can say, powerful properties of an agent is it has access to some external tools. It is not like hard and set rule, but most of the time whenever we are building agents, we make sure that our agent, that our LLM, has some access to the outsider, you can say, tools and technologies. Now, under the hood, let's say this is a kind of LLM. Okay, this is an LLM. This is not an agent for now. You can say this is an LLM. Let me bring the LLM. Do I have LLM? Any LLM? No. So let me just say, let me pick that. Yeah, let's say this is my LLM. Okay.
It is always
So this is my LLM. This can be OpenAI LLM. This can be your Anthropic LLM. This can be your Gemini, whatever you want to say. Let's say this is Gemini. I know Gemini is very popular nowadays. Let's say this is Gemini. Simple. Very good. Now this is Gemini. I want to ask some questions from Gemini. Or let's say OpenAI, because you can relate it to OpenAI better, because you have lived that moment. Let me just talk about this moment. So when we just use ChatGPT back in the days when it was like really, really new, when you would have asked a question like what is the temperature in Bangalore or any other city, it will not tell you, because it does not have access to the weather, especially weather, like current weather. Or if you had asked about any kind of calculation, it would throw like some wrong calculations. Why? Because it does not have, it didn't have access to the calculators back in time. That means LLM was only able to produce answers using the knowledge base that it had. But sometimes that knowledge base is not enough. It has to just give you the response on the basis of some external tools. Okay. So for example, you have asked this question from an LLM, and this LLM can answer the question. Let's say you have asked, what is, let's say, the meaning of your name. Okay. Let's say you want to know the meaning of your name, and congratulations if you do not know the meaning of your name. Very well done. So let's say you wanted to ask the meaning of your name. So if it knows, it will simply generate the output. It will simply generate the output. Simple. Let's say like this. It will generate the output. Okay. Let's say this is the output. But let's say this is like very simple, when it knows the answer. But most of the time, the question that you are asking right now, it doesn't have access. Same way. See, I also asked the question, and LLM cannot answer that question. What is the weather right now? LLM is not a better podcaster. So now I have asked you some questions. I have asked some questions. Now what it will do? It will use this superpower. And what is superpower? Some tools. Let's say it has access to some tools. Let me just draw that. Let's say it has access to a kind of API. Okay. Let's say it has access to some web search. Let's say it has access to some kind of calculator or anything, and it has access to some kind of document. Whatever. It has some tools available. Okay, it has some tools available. It has access to, let's say, running some SQL database queries or anything. It is linked to kind of, you can say, SQL REPL. Okay, so it has some tools. Okay. So now what it will do, it is directly linked to these tools. Simple. Very good. Now what will happen? Now let me tell you the real React, how it takes. So now let's say you have asked a question, and that question cannot be answered by LLM. Now what will happen? This LLM will go to the tools. Okay. It will go to the tools. Simple. Now LLM will go to the tools, and it will say, hey, do I have any tool that I can just use to answer this question? And yes. For example, yes, it has access to that tool. Let's say I want to use this API. This is a better API. Let's say. So I know this question can be answered using this API call. Yes, it will use that tool. Very good. And it will make the API call. And that tool will give the response back to the LLM like this. Let's say, like this. Simple. Okay. Now what will happen? The moment this particular LLM made the API call, okay, and it has got the response back. Let's say this is called tool call. Simple. This is a tool call. And this is the response. Or let's say tool response. You need to understand this very carefully because we'll be building this solution very, very soon. Because I will not explain this thing while writing the code. Because while writing the code, I just need to write the code. Okay? So let's say this is a tool call and this is a tool response. Now what will happen? Now LLM will note down the response. Let's say it has a kind of scratch pad. kind of scratch pad. Okay, let's say a kind of scratch pad. Do I have scratch pad? Let's say notes. Okay, so it will take care of these things, whatever information you are providing it. Okay, let's say here is attached notes. Simple. Now, tool response will be registered in the notes. It will note it down. Then it will think, do I have the final answer available? If the answer is yes, perfect. Output is generated using the tool call. If the answer is no, that means the final answer is not ready yet. I still want to make more API calls or more tool calls. It will go back to the tool call again and it will keep on running this loop until your final answer is generated. See, this loop will be keep on running, keep on running, keep on running until this note section will say, I have everything that I need and you can proceed. Let's say this says I am okay. Now you can simply generate the answer. Okay, let's say. So if it says yes, approved, then your final output will be generated. Make sense? That's how React framework or you can say React architecture works. Simple? Very good. This is understood? Very good. Now, the problem with this particular architecture in LangChain was you didn't have control over how to make these tool calls, how to control these edges. It was making these tool calls automatically behind the scenes. I still remember when I was just learning LangChain, I would say years back, I was like, why it is running endless loop? Because it was keep on running the loop, even after finding the answer. And I was like, bro, this is too much. And then I got to know about Langgraph. I was like, let's start learning about Langgraph because I knew like Langgraph is solving some problems with LangChain. Then I got to know, oh, okay, Langgraph is solving this particular issue. Because I was just like getting so deeper to solve that problem. And I was like, bro, I know I can solve the issue, but it is taking too long. Then I got to know that we have a dedicated framework for it where we can develop the agents, React agents, not only React agents, by the way, so many agents, but yeah, React agent is like the most popular one. So we can build the React agent using Langgraph and we can control this loop, we can control these edges, we can control these tool calls. I can even control these tool calls like how many iteration I want. I have full control now in Langgraph. This is the thing. So in LangChain, we do not have control over this, but in Langgraph, we have control. We have full control. Why? Because this is a kind of node. This is a kind of node. This is an edge. This is an edge. This is an edge. This is an edge. Make sense? Make sense? So this is your React agent. Okay, and we will just build this React agent. It is very easy now. Very, very easy. So now, do you know what? In the latest version of LangChain and Langgraph, which is V 1.0 plus, they have rewritten the code for LangChain which was breaking before. They have just used the Langgraph under the hood. That's what I feel, because when I just make the agent with LangChain, I was just like creating the video for LangChain, so that's why I use it, because I use simply Langgraph to build my agents. I love Langgraph. But yeah, when I was using LangChain for the video, I saw that it is actually using the same framework under the hood. Makes sense? But only we are simply using the Langgraph in this video. Pure Langgraph. So this is your React agent. Now, in Langgraph, it's not just like only building this framework. In Langgraph, I even have human in the loop. So I can add myself within this loop, let's say like this. Wow. This is amazing. Yes, I can even add myself in this loop. Human in loop. Simple. That means before running this loop, or let's say before proceeding, I will be needed to allow, then only it will make those changes. So this is the kind of feature that we have got in Langgraph. Human in the loop. Make sense? That means human approval, a kind of human approval. Okay. Then obviously you have like full control over edges and nodes. Simple. So even if you let's say deny it and you want to make tool calls, let's say tool calls if you want to deny it, you can deny it. It will simply break here. Simple. Break means like it will end the loop, it will not break it. So that's how you can just actually also see this is a human. This human who asks the question has the power to decide what you want to do. That is the power of Langgraph. I hope it makes sense, and I hope now your ground level understanding of your React agent, AI agent versus agentic AI, why Langgraph now is clear. Because before directly showing you, hey, you can just build this node like this, you can install the library like this, you need to know why you are learning this, right? Why exactly you need to learn this? If you have LangChain, why you need to learn Langgraph? If you have Langgraph, what exactly you need to learn and what exactly you get? So these questions will be answered first of all, and I think so it is answered very well. Now let's talk about the installation and how can you just get started there. It's very simple. It's very simple. So let's say Langgraph installation. So if you want to install Langgraph, or it's not just like installation, it's like setup. Langgraph setup, because installation is very simple. It's just one line of code. So let's say setup. So
Weird.
if you want to just work with Langgraph, you need some tools, you need some softwares, you need some IDEs, because obviously I will not be writing my code in Notepad. Okay, I'm not that kind of guy. I am a Gen Z, so softwares, you need some IDEs, because obviously I will not be writing my code in Notepad. Okay, I'm not that kind of guy. I am a Gen Z, so I started working with code and all writing IDEs. If you know how to write a code in Notepad directly, very good, keep it up. So I will be just using any IDE, let's say VS Code. So you need VS Code. If you want to use any other IDE, let's say PyCharm, you can use PyCharm. If you want to use Cursor, you can use Cursor. If you want to use any IDE, it is a new one. And it's actually good because you get the agentic capabilities. You get agentic capabilities with VS Code as well, but it is for like just for few tokens per day. But if you just upgrade it, it's like you can use any code editor. I don't even promote anything. And I don't like promoting any code editor because every code editor is good. And I personally love VS Code, so you can use any code editor. So this is the first thing that we need. Then you would need Git. Why? Because we'll be just pushing over all the code in the GitHub, and you can also highlight your learnings in your resume and you can just add any kind of thing. Plus, it's very easy, simple. Okay. Then you will need API. So you would need one API key. It can be from OpenAI. It can be from let's remove Git. Let's not worry about Git. Because you'll be like, no, how to use Git? We do not know how to use Git. So let's forget about it. So if you have it, it's good, but let's forget about it. So let's say VS Code and let's say Archipad. But still, I will show you how to just push the code to GitHub. But I can simply remove it. Don't forget about it. let's keep it. Let's keep it. Okay. I know you are like, oh man, please include it because it's like a good skill to simply show it in your resume. So let's say you need one API, and if you need API, you can just create your own either in OpenAI dashboard or Anthropic or Gemini. In today's era, I would expect that you would have some API keys available to use the closed source models. I can use open source models as well. I have Ola installed, I have Docker model, I can install those things. But you know what? If you want to create agents that can efficiently make root cause, you need some high level models. I'm not saying that open source models cannot perform this thing, but if you want to use those high level models with open source models, you need that system which can handle that particular load. And then you will say, bro, I do not have an expensive laptop which can handle the thing. Obviously, not everyone can have like expensive laptop. I also like have like decent laptop. So that's why I use the closed source open model. Okay. I think Mac users can easily just run local models easily because they have a kind of I don't need to explain that kernel thing now. So they can just run the models efficiently. But yeah, if you are Windows and I'm also Windows, you can just use closed source models for this particular purpose. And now let's see how you can get started there. So first of all, let's try to install VS Code. So you can simply go in browser and search VS Code download. And you will get this link, VS Code download. If you are on Windows, download it. If you are on API home, okay. So click on API platform, OpenAI. API is just one of the products that OpenAI has built. Simple. Okay, like something else. Just need to simple. So I can also create my API key, create new secret API key. I can simply say Langgraph tutorial. I can create one, and obviously this here. And you just need to copy the API key immediately because after that you cannot copy it. Okay, so you can create one and then save it in your notepad or whatever because you'll be just pasting it on VS Code only. So just for the 5 minutes, you can simply copy it somewhere. Perfect. Now you'll be very happy. Wow, we created the API key for free. Now we are good. But actually, now we need to go to billing. Okay, or you can say not billing exactly. I think yeah, billing. So here you will see after go to billing, you will see something pay as you go, and here you can simply go to add to credit balance. You can add some credit. I think the default or minimum amount is $5. You can just add $5, and then you can just use it as pay as you go model. So basically, what will happen when you make an API call, it will use this amount to deduct and fulfill the task that you're doing. I think if you will ask me that will $5 will be enough for this entire video, I will say more than enough because it's not really, you can say, but what exactly what thing is. So you will say $5 that means you will hardly make 5, 10, 15, 20 API calls. Not exactly. When you use OpenAI API for LLM for text-based generation, that we're just using, and obviously we're just using normal models, not like very expensive models. So you hardly spend, I will show you the chart as well, and you will see like how much you spend when you just make an API call. So you do not need to worry about that because $5 will take more than enough. You can just watch hundreds of videos like this with this amount, and I'm not kidding. Okay, so you can simply add some amount in your account, and you can just go to KSU. This is one way of doing it with OpenAI. If you want to go with Anthropic, you can simply go to Anthropic, then you can simply create two student account. If you want to, you do not have the amount in your account, and you're just trying to make the API calls, trying to be smart, right? So if you don't want to see those errors, simply have some amount here. Simple. That's all. And now I will quickly open my VS Code editor and let me show you how you can get started with it. Simple. So this is some changes on the left. It's simple. Now open any empty folder. It can be in C drive, it can be in D drive. Okay. Make sure it is not in your OneDrive. It doesn't make sense to create the folder in OneDrive. Not really, but maybe you will be having some access issue when you're just pushing that code to GitHub or whatever. Make a new empty folder in local disk C and then open that folder like this. So I have created a folder called Langgraph tutorial. And it is empty as you can see. There's nothing here. Not backslash. It is called I think backtick. So control shift and backtick. Anjana, show us the normal way. Okay, click on 3 dots, go to terminal, click on new terminal, and you will see the shortcut. In Windows, you will see this. In Mac, you will see something else. By the way, how do you use Mac? I have never used Mac. And I always feel like, how exactly you need to use Mac? I need a guide. Someone who can teach me, hey, you need to use Mac like this. I would need a buddy. So let's say this is my, you can say Langgraph tutorial and C drive. So first thing first, I need to download a very special thing. It's called UV. Anjana, what is this? Is it related to Langgraph? No. It is related to Python. So remember, whenever you want PNG and Python is common. So you go to your favorite browser, like 3.3 actually check out please UV manages I will see this thing. Backend manager. I am simply using UV and everything to see some files automatically simple and with this I have everything in this thing. But I hardly use Mac, so I can simply search it for you if you want. I don't need to learn the command for it. So yeah, it is in Mac is source what you want to name is .env and then activate. In our case, in Windows users, it is .env then sources, not sources, script and then activate. Simple. Okay. So this is the command. You will see 3.12, not 3. If you have just one internet installed, it will just show you one. If you have multiple, you can just change it from here as well. But to be honest, it's fine because Python version after 3.9 or 10, it's the same. But before that, it can cause some problems. So just make sure that you have the 3.10. We will be just creating some folders. Simple. Okay. Now is that we use to work with Langgraph. Do not feel like I'm writing LangChain, so I need to know everything in LangChain. No. If you already know about LangChain, it is good. If not, I will try my best to cover all of the things that are required for you to know in the field of Langgraph. Simple. Because the things that we need in Langgraph from LangChain are very simple. Are like something that when you see it at once, you understand it immediately. It's not something like out of this world. It's not something kind of new concept. If it would be a new concept or a different concept, I will explain it to you. Otherwise, I will simply say, write this code. This is for this purpose and that's it. Simple. I hope that's simply the packages. Okay, important time. Just click on this plus new file and create .env. Okay. So here you need to create the simple. And here I will paste my OpenAI API key in double quotes. Simple. You can also create this variable and save it. Control S. Simple. Obviously, I will not show you the thing. So I will create one more file for you so that you can see all of the variables. .env.example. And I will simply say OpenAI API key equals to. So this is basically the best practice that we do when we need to just push our code to GitHub. And obviously I will push my code to GitHub. So you can see this file just for the reference and you can create your own .env file using the same thing, using same variables. So now if you are using, let's say, Anthropic. Then you can just write Anthropic API. Okay. If you're using Gemini, I think it is called Gemini API. I can just confirm don't later on, but for OpenAI and Anthropic, it's confirmed. For Gemini, I can just confirm right now. So let's say Gemini Langgraph. Chat Google API integration. Yes, this is the one. So what is the key name? Let me just check. Oh, it's called Google API called key, not Gemini API. Okay, so let me just write it for you. So you can just go here, and it is called Google API. Simple. Okay, makes sense. Google API. And okay.
Based on company name.
Sure, Gemini. Yeah, Gemini is the model. Google is API. Okay, and I can similarly look at the Anthropic quickly. Just to confirm. So for Anthropic, this is the one. Yeah, Anthropic is like Anthropic API. Simple. Very good. So now your environment is created. Now you're just going to go with the next step. Simple. Very good. So here I have just created my API key as well. I will just simply remove it. Do not feel happy. By the way, this is not a complete API. It's like very big. Okay. So this is my API key, open API key. In your case, you can just paste it here. In case of Google, you can just paste it here. Simple. So now let me just create a quick folder, or just you can say Python file is enough. I would say yeah. So here, okay. So I will create one, and then I can say basics.py, because obviously this masterclass is structured in the form of chapters, so that you can just learn step by step. That's why I'm just using the naming convention called like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Simple. Okay, very good. So now you can even remove main.py. This is a default Python notebook that your UV creates. Okay. So now I simply need to just show you some of the packages that you will need to install with your Langgraph. Simple. So first of all, let me just tell you, whenever you want to install a package, you can install directly with your requirements.txt, because in my case, or let's say in your case, you will use my GitHub, right? So you will also see one file called requirements.txt. Simple. I'll also show you how you just create it. So when you create a requirements.txt, you can download all the packages step by step. It's not really simple. And if you just want to download all of the packages that you would need here for your this particular course, you can just create one requirements.txt, and let me just paste that requirements.txt here. And let's say I'll simply add requirements.txt, and here I can just paste all of the packages. Directly is simply not tricky, but yes, if you want to install anything, you can simply go to the terminal, simply search UV, or search simply type UV, then add UV, add, and then -r requirements.txt. In Python, we simply say pip install, or you can say pip install -r requirements.txt, right? So here we simply say UV add -r requirements.txt. Hit enter, and obviously it is empty, so it will not install anything. When you will download the requirements.txt from GitHub, then you can obviously run this command, and it will automatically download all of the packages in your case. So you just need to chill. Simple. But obviously, I don't have any package right now, so let me just install some packages. The first package that I want to install is Langchain OpenApp. So I will write UV add. So whenever I want to add a package, instead of writing it is all that package name, I just simply need to type UV add, and that's it. And it will automatically add that particular package for me. That is the kind of thing that you add, or you can say do in UV. Simple. Okay. So let me just add one of the basic packages. So it will like Langchain core. So Langchain core is downloaded along with some amazing other dependencies as well. And as you can see, my Langchain package is 1.1, 1.0 plus, I think. Yeah, so it is 1.2. Because this is the latest one, and it has like some amazing changes in Langgraph as well. So yeah. Okay. And after that, I can simply add UV add, Langchain, then OpenApp. If you're using Anthropic, you have to download Langchain Anthropic. Let me show you. Let's say Langchain and Anthropic. Simple. So it will download all of these things. If you are using, you can say Gemini, then you can simply get that specific package. So you can get the package from, let's say, where is that model? Google LM. Okay. So I think it is Langchain Google, but still I can just simply confirm before telling you. Yeah. So you can simply download this package, Langchain Google GenAI. Simple. So our package is completed. Very good. Now I need to create a connection with the LLM. So that is why I have just considered this basics file, where you can simply create a basic connection, and then you can just get started with it. Now you can get started with your tutorial Python with Python scripts. But personally, I like writing my code in the form of cells, basically the notebooks. The same way we write our code in the Jupyter notebook. Okay. So this is very similar to that. So if you want to get started with the masterclass with notebook, you can simply change the file format to .ipython. Okay, Python notebook. IPYND. Simply save it, and then it will become your Jupyter notebook. Simple. Very good. Now when you be selecting the kernel, let's select kernel. Just make sure you have Python environments. In your case, you will not see collab. This is basically a kind of extension that I have downloaded if I want to connect to collab notebook, but this is like out of scope for you. Then you can use Google Collab as well, because you get the free GPUs, but that is not required for this code because we are using closed source LLMs. Simple. So let me select kernel, Python environment, and here you can just pick this particular environment. Simple. Do not click global environment. No. You simply click Langgraph. Simple. Okay, let me just pick it, and this time you can see this thing. Okay. Let me just save it. Very good. So here, I will just show you one code, and this code will be there in every notebook, because in every notebook, we will be using LLM, right, to make AI agents, agent AI, whatever. So there is one boilerplate code, kind of boilerplate code that we will write in every notebook, but you need to understand that as well. First of all, you need to create one code cell, simple, and then I will write from, let's say, Langchain.core, and then let's say you want to import chat models. Now there are two options to import the chat models. There was like initially, okay, which is still used. It's not like it's not used now. But if you just want to use the new method, you can still use the new method if you want to. So let me show you how you do that. So if I will firstly refer this course to OpenApp, and it is exactly the same every other thing as well. Let's say OpenApp, and here if you go to chat OpenApp, okay. So here you will see where's the if it is still used. It's not like it's not used now. But if you just want to use the new method, you can still use the new method if you want to. So let me show you how you do that. So if I will firstly refer this course to OpenApp, and it is exactly the same every other thing as well. Let's say OpenApp, and here if you go to chat OpenApp, okay. So here you will see, where is that new method? Yeah. So this is the older method that I personally like from langchain underscore OpenAI. You can simply say import chat OpenAI. Simple. But right now they have just simply created one more generic class where you do not need to connect specifically to OpenAI. You can connect to any other, you can say, model, Gemini model, Anthropic model, and you don't need to worry about any kind of dedicated connector. But I personally like this particular method. Okay, so I will prefer you using this one. It's pretty much straightforward and workable. So let me just go to my VS Code. So I will simply write it here. This thing. From langchain OpenAI, import chat OpenAI. Simple. Makes sense. So here I want to now create an LLM object. Simple. Now I know that in chat OpenAI, or basically OpenAI, I have so many models, basically chat models. I have GPT 4.1 mini, I have I think 5.1 as well, this as well, and 4.1 mini as well, 4.0 mini as well. There are so many models. And if I just go to the list, you can literally see that we have a long list. So OpenAI models, simple. So here you will see a long list of it, and you can pick any model. I will just tell you which is the best one for this particular course. I think you can see GPT 5. Okay, simple. This is a good model, by the way. And this is a little bit costly, as you can see, $0.25 per input, per million token, and $2 per output. Still, it is like more than enough, but we will just simply pick the cheap options. So I will simply go to, let's say, GPT 5 Nano. And you will see this is very good. $0.05 per input and $0.4 per output. And this will perform almost all the software we want to perform here. Simple. There are some more other options, but I would say this is the best one, GPT 5 Nano. I can just copy the name here, and I can just go to my VS Code, and I can just paste it here. I'll remove it, and I will paste it. I can remove the date, because the date is just for the past updated data. It was updated. So, GPT 5 Nano. You can create this instance, or basically object of LLM. Now, after this step, everything is same. If you are using Google, Gemini, Anthropic, any model, everything is same. Only these two lines are different. Simple. Only these two lines are different. In case of Chat OpenAI, you have to just use OpenAI and then Chat OpenAI. In case of Google Gemini, I've already showed you. Still, I can show you again. Let's say you're using Anthropic. So here you can simply use this code. Let's say from Langchain Anthropic, import Chat Anthropic, and obviously you can just pick any model. You can pick Claude Haiku 4.5 or you can pick Sonnet 4.5 because Opal will go this way. Oh, preview Opal. Why? But I didn't load this thing, right? So I first need to load this API key. There, you have this here, right? Yes, but I didn't load this thing, right? For the env method. Simple load method. So in load.env method, one function called, I will run it here. I want to confirm, let me show you. If I write import OS, simple, and I want to confirm that if OS dot OpenAI key is there, whatever. Let's try to run it. Because you folks have not saved the right name, or you have not saved this file. Maybe it is there, but you forgot to save it. So just make sure that it is saved as well. Simple. Now we are going to go. Let me now just transfer this code here. And perfect. Perfect. So these are the sections for our language. So we will be just reusing this particular area to import the packages. Simple. So I'm just reusing this. Okay, makes sense. So this
for
is
everything is similar to the what we taught in the Langchain. There isn't anything new calling the LLM model directly and then using the LLM and okay prompts. I'm not sure if
I'm importing. And now I will create the LLM here. Good. Just run this at one line. So now it will simply move everything. Now let's run this. So this is my LLM object that I have created. Now this LLM object is created. That means now I can use this LLM to make the API calls to the model called GPT 5 Nano. The same way I ask a question from ChatGPT, now I can do the same stuff with the LLM object as well. Let me just show you. Let's say I want to ask one question. So let's say I will say LLM, and there is a dot invoke method in the Langchain. Langgraph post. So whenever I'm saying Langchain, I'm referring to Langgraph. Whenever I'm just saying Langgraph, I'm just referring to Langgraph. Simple. Because both are connected. So I will say I want to know the meaning of this is a very high level question. Let's say meaning of water. Water. Okay. So let's say I want to know the meaning of water. Simple. And I want to ask this question. So I will wrap my question here and I will invoke it. Simple. I will invoke it. I will run this set and I will say shift enter. So now let's wait and let's see what answer we get. It will take some time, obviously, to throw some answer because it will fetch the answer and it will just show you. So I have just got something AI message. Content equal to here are few ways to understand water. I think this was a difficult question for LLM as well. Scientific meaning, wow, what is the chemical substance with the formula H2O, two hydrogen atoms bound into one oxygen atom? Wow, it exists in three forms, solid, acid, whatever. So this is the answer that I got from LLM, from AI. Kind of AI, right? LLM is also a kind of AI. Deep learning model, transformer model. Okay, so that's how I can just ask the question. But you know what? I can only get the answer for the question that it can answer. So if I ask the same question that I asked to ChatGPT a few minutes back, what's the temperature in, let's say, LA? Okay, let me just run this. It will not tell you. Why? Because it doesn't have access to network APIs. Nothing. It is just an LLM, pure LLM. Do you mean Los Angeles? Yeah, I meant Los Angeles. Oh, so it is saying finally I don't have real-time metadata here unless your platform support this thing. So it is specifically mentioning that first of all it is confirming like LA means what. Okay, and second, it is asking like me to provide some kind of clarity about the platform because my platform doesn't have the support with current APIs or better. Simple. So when that thing happens, then you need to make sure that your LLM is equipped with tools. I'm just working with that thing only. But for now, we do not have any tools right now. Okay. But we can just use LLM to make the question calls that it can answer. Simple because LLM can perform so many things other than just making the API calls. So it can actually answer so many things. And it can work on the responses as well. So we are good with that. So let's say our this question is good, and I can split the cost. And as you can see, we are just simply making a cost. Obviously, this is using my amount, which is stored in the okay. So this is basically making a Lang graph means graph. It is a kind of graph. Graph means nodes and edges. Same like here. If I go here, so this is a graph, right? This is a graph where you have nodes, edges, everything. So I will just show you how you can just create a very first graph. Simple. And let me just show you how your first graph will look like. So let's say first graph.
It's better.
Simple first graph. So here the requirement is very simple. Let me first explain. You will create a very first graph, and the requirement is you are developer. Okay.
I will
Developer of the graph and also user as well. Both. So you need to create your very first graph. So it should be like very simple. A kind of greeting message.
Oh.
That's it. That's how you learn and grow. Okay. So now greeting. Very first is like greeting. Simply like just one node and that's it. Simple. Very first node. Because that's how you learn like okay how we can create these nodes. Simple. So how you just create this graph? Let me show you. So let me just grab that particular code for it, and it will look like this. Let me just go to mermaid to Excalibur. Yeah. So here let me write the code for it. Insert. So this is your tag, or basically graph. Simple. You can just draw it here as well, or you can just use a mermaid website as well. Let me show you that as well. Mermaid live. So here I will try to put from here the code here, not very well. I will just show you that is just a way to just create or display a graph. Okay, for now you do not need to worry about this is just kind of visual, and I'm just using this particular website to create or visualize that. Simple. But for this example, I'm just using my native library. Okay. So you need to create this graph where you will start the graph, you will create it, and you will end it. Simple. This is your task. You need to create this graph. Simple. Let's draw it. Let's draw it together, and not just draw. Let's craft it together. So first thing first, you need to get started with it using a kind of schema. The first thing in graph that you should have in your mind should be schema. Like what exactly you need to travel from one node to another. Okay, the step one should be define the schema. Now in Langgraph, we have a very good name. So you can say the AI, we have a very good name of schema, or second name of schema is called state. It's called state. State of your graph. Simple. So let me just write the heading. First graph. Simple. First graph. And let me just write it here. Mark with this step one. Step one is define the schema. Simple. This is the very first step. Define the schema. You need to define the schema of the node. And you know what? Schema should not be changed. And schema can be changed but should not be changed. This is your something that you should have in your mind. Simple. You define the schema first and then you build your graph. Simple. Let's say in my case, I want to define a schema where I want columns or keys such as name and message. These two things. Name and message. Simple. And you can define schema using two things. The first is lightweight schema. The second is heavyweight schema. Heavyweight schema is like with strict rules. The lightweight schema is like without strict rules. So we'll just continue with lightweight schema, and we always work with lightweight schema. We use heavyweight schema when we want to build very strict rules, but it's fine. I will show you that as well later on. But currently we're simply building lightweight schema. So if you want to build lightweight schema, we will use a package called typing, and I will import typing. Simple. I can import this as well. So this is the kind of library in Python that we use. So here I will create a class. Which class? I will call it as let's say schema, or you can say graph schema. Simple. Graph schema. And by defining this class, I need to inherit type it. Simple. So that I can just create all of the columns with ease. So I want just two keys. First one name, and this will be string type. Simple. I want greet, or let's say not greet, let's say welcome. Let's say anything. Okay. Or let's say message. Okay. Message, and this will be your string type as well. Simple. This is my schema. This is my schema. Perfect. My schema is ready. Now I know that my graph will be just carrying this particular thing. Right? Now the step two is very easy. Now you need to build the node. But when I say you need to build a node, you need to build the functions of nodes. Like what exactly you need to execute within the node. So I will say step two, create the node functions. Okay, node functions. So in my case, I just have a single node. So very simple question. How many functions will I have? Only one. Obviously, only one, right? So I will simply say def, very simple Python function, and I will say welcome. This node name is welcome. Simple. Now it's very important. And by the way, let me just know that it is keep on writing my code and it's not letting me write any code though. You're making me lazy. So it's actually very good when you're just developing something. I want to explain you, and I do not want you to be like distracted by the code. That is actually just not. I would say very good. You should use it. And yeah, let's talk about this function. So basically, now this is the very important thing about the entire graphic. Now you will be creating nodes. Yes. Now in every node function, basically node function, you have to use something called as schema. And this is the backbone of stateful orchestration. Now what will I do? I will create this function and I will use and you can say a variable. Let's say schema. Let's say schema. Okay. Because I am a data engineer, I am an AI data engineer, so I like to use schema word, but you can also use state. Okay. So let's try to use state. Simple. Now this is state variable which will be available to each function automatically by default. By default. That is the Langgraph framework design. That's how like Langgraph framework is designed. And this state variable will have the data type that you have defined here. The graph schema. That means it will have name and message. Wow. Yes. So you can say this data type of this particular variable is graph schema. Simple. And what it returns the graph schema data type. Because that's what we should return every time. Simple. Makes sense. So this is a very first step. So I have defined my function D here. Simple. Okay. Now I will Now I will use this particular state. Now you know that the state is a kind of dictionary, right? Type it is a dictionary. It will convert this particular object into a dictionary. Simple. So now I want to fetch name and message from the state, from the current state, right? So I can write, let's say, current name equals state of name, current message equals to state of message. Simple. Current name, current message. Simple. So I simply fetch the information. Now you know what will I do? I will simply make an API call. How? By using LLM. I will simply say response equals LLM dot invoke. Right? Now I need to just pass the message. So I will write like this using string. My name is, and what is my name? Current name. Simple. Simple. And then I will pass the message exactly as it is. Current message. Now, response, in the response, I get everything. As you know, see chat, OpenAI, profile, and whatever. If I let run this again, just to show you. So I get everything. Like AI message, and content, and everything. If I want to just fetch in the response or basically the content, this content only, because in the response I have so many things regarding tokens and so many things, like metadata. I don't want this thing. I just want the content. I can say dot content, then I can only see the text message. Right? That's how we fetch the information. Fundamentals of Python. That's why we say fundamentals are important. But nowadays, no one wants to learn the fundamentals. Everyone wants to directly jump on the Langgraph language. Cover the fundamentals first of all, bro. So I will simply say dot content. Simple. This is my response. Now what will I do? Do you know what? I will change the message. Wow. This message was initially something else. That was my message, user's message. But I will change it to AI message. I can do that. I can do that. How? I will simply say state of message equals response. Simple. Simple. And I can simply return state. Simple. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. And just to like make it more beautiful, I can simply say so that you will also see the change in the real time. I will say you, let's say I can also use plus. Yeah, let's use
Current
plus.
name.
So I'll say your message was, okay, your message was current message. Let's use F. Your message was current message. Here is my response, and then I will just write the response. Simple. So this is the current state. That means I have changed the state of this message to this updated message. Wow. And now I'm returning the state. That means the entire dictionary. Did I change name? No. So name will be as it is. Name will be as it is. And now, very important concept. Whenever you write something here, state message equals to this thing, it will automatically update the value with this latest message. That is again the fundamental. That means you can make the in-place changes in the dictionary, right? Have you tried about pointers in Python or in any programming language? No? Fine. So what will happen? If you have a dictionary, right? Let me show you. If you have a dictionary like this, let's say dictionary equals to A, and let's say the value A is 10. Simple. And if I just print the dictionary, I will get A 10. But now if I say date of A is equal to 100, and if I just print dictionary, it will make in-place changes. See, A equals to 100 now. That is called pointers. Like pointers lesson. Okay, so I just made the changes in the message dictionary, message key of my dictionary, and I'm returning this. Perfect. This is my step 2 because I just have single load. I just have single load. That's it. Now if I have like the single load, so what I will do? Now I will create my state graph. Yes, we just write a state graph. So I will simply now analyze. Then I have it right. You as per data message. Okay, now the stable basic language. I don't want this thing. I just want the content. I can say dot content. Then I will only see the text message. Right? That's how we fetch the information. Fundamentals of Python. That's why we say fundamentals are important. But nowadays, no one wants to learn the fundamentals. Everyone wants to directly jump on the Langgraph language. Cover the fundamentals first of all, bro. So I will simply say dot content. Simple. This is my response. Now what will I do? You know what? I will change the message. Wow. This message was initially something else. That was my message, user's message. But I will change it to AI message. I can do that. I can do that. How? I will simply say state of message equals response. Simple. Simple. And I can simply return state. Simple. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. And just to like make it more beautiful, I can simply say so that you will also see the change in the real time. I will say you, let's say I can also use plus. Yeah, let's use plus. So I will say your message was, okay, your message was current message. Let's use F. Your message was current message. Here is my response, and then I will just write the response. Simple. So this is the current state. That means I have changed the state of this message to this updated message. Wow. And now I'm returning the state. That means the entire dictionary. Did I change name? No. So name will be as it is. Name will be as it is. And now, very important concept. Whenever you write something here, state message equals to this thing, it will automatically update the value with this latest message. That is again the fundamental. That means you can make the in-place changes in the dictionary, right? Have you tried about pointers in Python or in any programming language? No? Fine. So what will happen? If you have a dictionary, right? Let me show you. If you have a dictionary like this, let's say dictionary equals to A, and let's say the value of A is 10. Simple. And if I just print dictionary, it will make in-place changes. See the message dictionary, message key of my dictionary, and I'm done this. Perfect. This is my step 2 because I just have single note. I just have single note. That's it. Now if I have like the single notes, what I will do? Now I will create my state graph. Yes, we just call it a state graph. So I will simply say step 3, create a state graph. That is a better name, and that is a, you can say, name given in the Langgraph as well. So create the state graph. Simple. So in order to create a state graph, you need to import something from Langgraph. You need to import from Langgraph, import state graph. Let me check the exact dictionary package name. Yeah, it's langgraph.graph. Okay, import state graph. Simple. So you need to import langgraph.graph and then you need to import state graph. Simple. Very good. Let me just run this and you see error obviously because we have not imported Langgraph module. Let me add that as well. So you add Langgraph. Perfect. Let me just run this. Okay. Now you just also need to add start and end. This is very important in the graph. So this is my package that I need to import. Now I will create an instance of the graph. So I will simply say graph equals state graph, and then I need to pass the argument as my own graph. That means my schema of the graph, which is graph schema. Simple. This is my graph object. Simple. And now once I have the graph, now I will add the nodes to this graph because currently this is an empty graph. So I will say graph.add node, very first mode. Which mode? Welcome. And this is my graph name. Oh, sorry, node name in the graph. Now, which function is associated to this particular node? The function name is welcome. Right here. As you can see, welcome. Oh, okay. So we are simply creating a node. Now my node is created. Now I need edges, branches, and as long as you just have single node, so what branch, what is that? So even if you have single node, you always create two branches, start and end. That tells Langgraph that this is the starting point of the node and this is the ending point of the node, or basically starting point of the graph and ending point of the graph. So I will say, let me just add the comments. Graph.add node, and I want to add basically edge from start to welcome. Basically, we create edges between nodes. So we get two nodes by default, start and end. These are basically the nodes, by default nodes. So I'm saying, hey, create my one edge from edge. Create my one edge from start node till welcome, and then second node from welcome to end. Makes sense? Very common sense, bro. You just need to create a graph, start to end. Simple. So you will first of all say start welcome and then welcome to end. Graph.add welcome to end. So this is it. My graph is ready. Really, graph is ready. Yeah, kind of. I just need to now compile it. That's it. Okay. So now in order to compile your graph, in order to compile your graph, you would need to first of all run this cell. Welcome is not yet. Very good, very good, very good. Do not run this function if you are in mention X. What is? Oh, okay. I forgot to add last line. By the way, I'm using asterisk. Why do I need to use last line? I can use my variable directly. That's the best thing about asterisks. Okay, now I can start this. So this line object is created. Now let me just say mark and let's say step 3 or 4. Step 4. Step 4 is compile the graph. Simple. So if I want to compile my graph, I again need to import something. So I will simply say from Langgraph dot graph, not dot graph this time. I think to compile I can simply compile it directly. I think so. Yeah, I think I can compile it directly. I can simply say fourth graph equals my graph object, which is graph here. See, graph dot compile. Simple. Let me just run it. So this is completed. Wow, this ran successfully. But you know what? Whenever we run anything, whenever we run or basically create our first graph, we do not just want to compile it, we actually want to see it as well. So that we can just make sure, okay, our graph is actually running fine. Makes sense. So for that, we have a very special library that we just use. It's called from, I think they just keep on changing it, but don't worry about IPython.display. Yeah, import image, and then you can just import display. Simple. So this way you can actually import these things. So what will happen now? I will write one line of code, and it will draw the margin diagram for you by default. Okay. And you have to write this code. Let me just write the code. It goes like I think image. Okay, and the image graph, or you can say your first graph, whatever you have compiled. So in my case, it is first graph, and then you can use render, but I will use .get graph, and then you can use .draw market png. Simple. And you need to make sure that you use exact same code, otherwise you can see some errors. Let me just say this way as well. Oh, it worked because I have this issue. Same one works. So
I'm feeling sleepy, bro. Let's wind up. Okay, so what I'll do, I have some other stuff that needs to. Bro, lead code is solving.
You want to know resources to learn development? I learned from a channel called a Chai Code. Hitesh Chaudhary, you know Hitesh Chaudhary, sir, right? I learned from there. If I show my history, then he will be shocked, man, at how much tutorial I was.
Show us.
I don't know if something bad comes up, then ignore that thing. I don't know. Maybe since I'm a male, my recommendation would be like a lot of female. No, I'm not even getting interview. There is a problem.
I wanted to.
रुक जा यहाँ पे देखो. अगर तुम कोई भी वीडियो निकाल के देखोगे ना,
I wanted to.
literally have watched 50% or 70% of it. कहाँ गया ये वो सब? कहाँ गया ये वो? हमें इनसे सीखा था, हमें इनसे सीखा, हमें इनसे सीखा था, हमें इनसे सीखा. Oh, इन्होंने बुक निकाल दिया. Distributed. Oh, इन्होंने बुक निकाल दिया. Distributed. Designing distributed system. यहाँ देख, इसको भी मैं 30% देखा.
Hey, where are you going?
ये तो मैं रोज देखता हूँ. If I'm in
Now
work,
I won't
I
feel
used to get
sleepy.
chance.
I will.
I used to put my resume there and get feedback from him. Even Six Flags program is KV, you can learn from him. Piyush, note कर लो पीयूष. एक इंच से सीख सकता है और फिर एक इंच से सीख सकता है. दोनों क्रैक है भाई. और एक बंदा है जो संधू मुखर्जी करके था, मतलब वो अच्छा सिखाता है. वो भी ये बंदा ये भी क्रैक है भाई. He can teach you a lot of stuff. तुम्हें अलग अलग प्लेलिस्ट मिल जाएंगे. You can check his channel. यहाँ पे सारे प्लेलिस्ट हैं. तुम एक भी ऐसा से ढंग से पूरा घाट कर लोगे 2-3 कम से कम तेरे को 10-15 दिन लगेंगे एक प्रोजेक्ट खत्म करने के लिए. Since it's not going to be small project, look at the time duration. इनको 11 hours कोर्स बनाने में लगा है. I will not post नहीं बोलूँगा, like maybe वीडियो प्रोजेक्ट बनाने के लिए, which is going to take you more than 11 hours. Since you're going to debug and you're going to do a lot of stuff in it. तो तुम इसमें से इसको पकड़ लो. Next.js तो directly मत करना. Merge stack होगा, पहले merge stack करना. Since you have to know React before doing Next.js.
I'm so sorry. Actually,
DevOps वाले हो तो DevOps वाले इसमें से
streaming or
करना.
stupid.
He's all rounder guy, man.
By the way, what is Langgraph? No, I know. Now I need to jump. I have to solve some other stuff. Bye bye, guys. I will see you soon. See you tomorrow. Today I need to prepare for something, and I'm feeling sleepy. Bye bye. Take care.